Let's see if I even remember how to make this thing work. You pull that in, you turn this thing, and you do that. Oh, that's the noise we're looking for. What a do, you guys? It's BFO Moto, and I'm back on my bike. Woohoo! Yeah, man, this feels fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've been going through withdrawals for the past 2 months because I haven't even touched my motorcycle at all. A lot of it comes down to, well, like I was explaining in that one video, I just didn't feel like riding it with the damage on there, and then I had to wait for the fender to come back because my seat wouldn't stay in place, and it was just a big load of ass. But it's been a young 2 months since I've been on this thing, so I have a lot of things to talk about. So let's talk about some shit. Let's go ahead and address the big elephant in the room. Since the last time I've been on my motorcycle, lots of things have happened. Like Trump is now the elected president, which is interesting. I never really was on either side of that debate. And I mean, I'm not going to get into politics on this channel very much, so I'm just going to leave it at, I don't think that Trump won the race. It was Hillary's race to win, or Hillary's race to lose, I guess is the saying, and she fucking lost it. That's all there really is to that one. She done goofed. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Definitely not saying I supported either candidate, because I really, really didn't. I'm on that everybody sucks 2016 side, so we're gonna leave it there. But we're approaching New Year's, you guys. New year, new me. Oh boy. So yeah, lots of stuff has been happening. Something that I've been kind of thinking about here for the past little bit, I would say about the past week or two now, is actually selling my Abarth. Yeah, I realize that it hasn't really been on the channel with the exception of that first video. Haven't really recorded any videos in it like I said I was going to, but you know, what's new with that? I'm looking for something that's a little bit more useful, you know? I'll give you an example. Just, about a weekend or two ago, the weekend before Christmas, my girlfriend wanted to go to Leavenworth, which is this really cool, like, Bavarian village up in the mountains. It's actually really pretty. She wanted to go up there, and I'm like, that's great. Has the weather thought about snowing? Because that's all that it takes. It just takes a thought of snow. Like, it doesn't actually have to snow. It just has to threaten to snow. My car is just like, no, I'm not going to do anything. You guys can go ahead and do your thing. Basically, my car, like, even in wet environments, if there's even a slight incline and I give it a tiny bit too much gas, and by a tiny bit too much gas, I mean I touch the fucking throttle, it's sitting there spinning its tires. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I have performance tires on there now. So it really doesn't like anything other than dry weather or mildly moist. Moist. I don't understand why that word pisses people off. So obviously we couldn't take my car, and we couldn't take my girlfriend's car because her car is old and rickety and, you know, it's on its way out, so we couldn't take that. So I had to rent a car. And I found this really cool service. It's called Reach Now. If your city has it, it's actually pretty dope. It's essentially a service provided by BMW, and what they do is they provide, I think they give you like the option of a 328X, an X1, what else? You can do Mini Coopers, you can do BMW i3, things like that. So you have a couple of different selections for vehicles, which is pretty awesome. It's cool, you know, whatever the fuck you want to drive, they're going to provide it for you. And their rates aren't that bad. I think for like 48 hours, I think I paid like 180 bucks, which isn't that bad at all. But what really sucked is I signed up for that service like the night before we were going because I didn't want to spend $200 on a rental because I'm younger than 25, and that's what happens. So I had to unlock the car and do everything with my phone, which is normally okay in the city, which is where it's intended to be used. But I'm going up into the mountains, you see, where no carrier has any service. So I get up into the mountains. Well, actually, first of all, I bring it home, and my house has zero service for anyone as well. And I, you know, lock the door, because I'm like, okay, I'm going inside now. Whatever. So I went to go back outside, because I left something in the car. I went to go and try to unlock it. My phone's sitting here saying, hey, the car is like 71,000 feet away from you, and you have to be within 300 feet. Sorry, you're kind of fucked. And I'm like, oh. Well, the car's right in front of me, so that's bullshit. So if you have like shitty service, it just doesn't want to unlock the car, which is really bad. Luckily though, they send you out an actual key card, which you can tap on the window, kind of like Car2Go if you guys have ever used that. You can tap on the window to lock it or unlock it or reserve your ride, so on and so forth, things like that. It's pretty neat. But I didn't have that, so that was kind of a pain in the ass. This whole event is kind of what made me start thinking, man, I need to sell my fucking Abarth, because this is no bueno. No bueno at all. So I'm considering selling it for something that has a little bit more utility. I have a few things in mind. I'm not gonna say what they are because I don't want people to be like, well, you don't want that because I actually know what I'm doing with cars, believe it or not. So, you know, we got that covered. But that's small news compared to the fact that I have my bike back now. I'm super happy that I have it back. Like, no joke. It honestly felt like I was missing part of myself, even though I haven't really been riding that much. It feels like I've been missing part of myself for the past 2 months. It's like, I need to be back on this, and it doesn't feel right without being on it, you know? I also really strongly dislike this turn. I hate it in a car, and I hate it even more on a bike, because it's harder to, fuck you, I'm going, fuck you. So the fact that it's all back and put together and shiny and things like that makes me so happy. Not only that, I also mentioned this, I believe, on that last video that I made, but I have forward controls. Look at it, you can see my footsies, you can see them. We're going through this, but look, you can see them. It's so comfortable that I don't have to be like scrunched up in this tiny little ball while riding. It's so much better, especially, like I said, being 6'5". Those mid controls were just those weren't happening for me. The next step, of course, is getting handlebars, and I just ordered myself a set of 7-inch T-bars. And I know if any of you guys are Harley fans, you guys are like, oh, you only want the T-bars because you saw them on Sons of Anarchy. No, I want the T-bars because they're fucking comfortable, and I like them, and I have read that they give you better maneuverability. I'm gonna get better maneuverability because I have lower handlebars anyways, so there's that. I'm not saying that this was hard to maneuver or anything like that. It's just when I drove my dad's V-Rod, I just loved those lower handlebars. I felt like I could do anything with them, you know? It was awesome. I honestly felt like I was riding a sports bike. It was pretty fucking cool. So I'm pretty excited about those bars. I only have a few more things to get for the bike, and in all honesty, then the build will be finished. I think the build all in all, after I pay for my motorcycle, will just be an additional like $2,000 to $3,000, which in all honesty is not that bad for a motorcycle build how I want it to be. Considering when I was pricing out V-Rods and the mods that I wanted to do there, the mods themselves were like 1.5 times the price of the bike, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're not getting that anymore. So the bike will hopefully be done being built within the next year, I think, will be when that happens. Gonna get some louder pipes for it. Haven't decided on those. Going between either Vance and Hines short shots or the Bassani radial something or others. I don't know. And then after, I'm trying to decide whether I want chrome on my bike or if I want to black it out. Then I'm trying to decide whether I want to spend even more money and get wider swing arms so I can get like a 280mm rear tire and wheel to match. And I mean, that's going to be a lot of money right there. So I can go a lot of places with this bike. I'm just trying to decide what I would be happiest with. I've also discovered this really cool new social media app for motorcycle riders. It's called Moto Amino, and apparently this amino thing has been around for a little while, and it's been, you know, it's been used for other things. Like they have a lot of other aminos, and essentially what it is it's just a really big group of people that are part of different subgroups within that group, and like things like cruisers and motovloggers and sport bike riders and people like that, people in all sorts of different categories. They all kind of sign on and they share their own things. It's like a Facebook for bikes specifically, except people actually care, and most aren't dumb. At least not most that I've seen so far. And there's a couple of bigger motovloggers that use it too. Like I found out about it from Do It With Dan. Love his channel, by the way. If you guys haven't checked him out, you should totally do it. He's a lot bigger than I am. I think he's like one of the bigger motovloggers on YouTube, if not probably the biggest. I think he held like the top place for quite a while. But anyways, yeah, I said the Moto Amino app, pretty cool. Just check it out. Something else that you guys should do as well is click on that subscribe button. It looks a little bit something like this right here. Right there. Do that, and you'll be able to see my videos more often. And I would be much appreciative of it as well. Also, if you want to like and comment, that shit's pretty cool too. And follow me on the young Instagram and Twitters, because I keep things updated there too. Oh boy. My front brakes do not like being held. But that's enough of trying to, you know, promote myself. And back to actual things to talk about, not just me. Actually, that's pretty much all that I talk about is just me. And I kind of want to visit my friend. I think I'm going to, on the way back. Man, I'm down here in downtown Kirkland, and all that I can think is... also, Axl Rose, please do not come and sue me for using that, like, what, 5-second clip of your song. I very much like your band, and I'd like to not be sued. Thank you. Hashtag disclaimer. Man, I know where the fuck I'm gonna go. I'm in downtown Kirkland. It's cold as fuck. See the snowflakes up there? Yeah, goes to show you how cold it is. We're gonna go down to the waterfront, because that place is pretty no matter what time of year it is. And I'm gonna look like an idiot and walk around with my helmet on. Alright, time to park the motorcycle. Not one of them there motorcycles? It is one of them there motorcycles. Right about there. Boop. Boop. Look at the ass. There we go. It's all nice and fixed. Kind of dirty. I'll clean off when I get home. Oh, feels good to have you back. Man, look at that guy's giant fucking boat. That's like a privately owned one too. Holy shit. Oh, I suppose it's free mooring here in the wintertime, so he's just like, whatever, fuck it. Free storage. Probably sleeping in there too. I know a lot of people will do that. But damn, that's a nice boat. Horizon. I don't know boat brands. I'm sure that's a good boat brand. It looks pretty. Oh, he has candles. I'm sure that he is sleeping in there. What the fuck? It's like the underglow of boats. Holy shit. That's cool. Alright, well that's enough of that shit. Alright guys, so a car just came out of there, and I didn't realize that that was a sign there. I didn't read that sign. I didn't even see the sign. If anyone asks, I didn't see that sign, because I actually didn't. So they got slightly irritated at me because I blocked their way out, but that sucks because my bike is tiny and they can drive around it.